Hey, hello everybody. It's Richard Blackstone. Yeah, I know. The Richard Blackstone right here. Yeah, that's right. It's me. And today I'm going to give you a love note. Create one love note. Now, some of you get my love notes in the morning, and they come in your email box, and they're really powerful way to start your day, positive way to get your day going. And so we thought, wow, we could really expand on those and put them in a video format so we can kind of talk about it a little more and get a wider perspective. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to read you a love note, then we're going to talk about it and see how it applies to your daily life. Okay, love note says, what if the television had never been invented? Oh my God, I love it already. What if the television had never been invented? What would you be doing with your spare time? If we are the thoughts that we think most often, do you think your life would be different if you've never watched the television? Instead of mindlessly watching a box with a bunch of negative messages coming at you non-stop, do you think you might spend more time in critical thinking? What about communicating with your family? Would you have more social intercourse with your children and significant others? Bet you would play with them more often, sing around the piano, maybe even do some dancing and being somewhat foolish as well. Man, doesn't that sound like fun? Now, you would have more time to educate yourself about what is happening on this beautiful blue planet that sustains our very lives. You can think about that more and more as you putter in your garden, thinking of ways to connect with nature. Lots of pretty cool alternatives instead of sitting mindlessly in front of a box filled with negativity. Wow. Oh, wow. Double wow. When I got on my path to self-improvement a long time ago, I knew that it was very, very obvious that what you put your attention on is what comes into your life. It's called the law of attraction. It's working all the time, and so it becomes very important to kind of monitor what you're putting your attention on. And I realized early on my journey of self-actualization and self-improvement that one of the biggest negative influences in my life at that time was the television. It's like, just non-stop negative crap, and the sitcoms are just inane. I mean, they make people look like idiots. It's just like, there's a few shows I like the Golf Channel, that I could actually learn something from, and it's full of positive, powerful information. And so I like that. And there's a few other things, some of the good stuff, Masterpiece Theater stuff. There's some good, powerful things. But most of it was just negative crap. So I thought, well, if I eliminated that source of information in my life, then I would eliminate the major source of negativity in my life. And so, actually, when I moved to my place where I live now, that's been over 3 years now. I did not bring a television. In fact, I gave it away. I haven't had a television for over 3 years, and I love it. And it doesn't mean that I haven't watched TV. I go to my daughter's or my kids' houses, and they have the television on, and I get to watch SpongeBob SquarePants and other shows that I enjoy. And but I'm not bombarded with it daily, and that's kind of the gist of what I'm talking about in this love note. Is try to eliminate as many negative influences you can in your life, and the television is the biggest negative influence that we have going, and the newspaper is probably number 2. So I don't get the newspaper either. Now I will get like Sunday morning sometimes, so that I can read the funnies, because I really like the funnies, and I like, I just like that. But the rest of it, I could care less. I read some of the sports page because I'm a fan of my alumni, University of Oregon, and so I read about what they're doing sports-wise, and then the golf. I read about that and Golf Channel. But the rest of it, and I tell you, I do not miss it one iota. I'm still, it's not like I'm ignorant of the news or anything. I mean, there's plenty of sources around. I know what's going on in the world. but I don't have to hear all the negative stuff. And so what I can do is create my life the way I want it to be, and create a world of peace, joy, and love that doesn't, require the television and a bunch of negativity to keep dragging it down. And so think about this concept. What the first line? I love it. What if television had never been invented? What if you didn't have a TV? What would you be doing? Would you be playing with your kids more? Would you be talking with your significant other more? Would you be out puttering in your garden more? Would you even have a garden? Would you take your bicycle out of the garage, dust it off, and jump on it and ride around? What would you be doing if you didn't have to sit down in front of a tube every night and just, be bombarded with negativity? Lots of things to do, to tell you the truth. There's lots of good, powerful, great books to read, things, Anyway, that. I'm not going to lecture on, that kind of stuff. But what I am going to tell you is my experience has told me that, one of the best things I ever did to suppress my ego was basically stop watching TV for a while. And you don't have to stop watching everything. There's obviously some good, powerful, positive stuff. And there's more and more coming, because the television actually is going to be the method of transformation to move us into a new era of rising consciousness, and that's what these videos are all about. In fact, I'm going to be doing television shows myself. I just, I see the future, and I know that's where I'm going. But my stuff is going to be positive, powerful, and, serve humanity. That's my gig. And because I know it's a cause and effect universe, and the more I serve humanity, guess what? The more I serve myself. It's the way it works. And the more you serve yourself, the more you're serving humanity. And I mean serving yourself, not being negative, because it's all cause and effect. Wow. So that's that's my little soapbox rant on television. But I know you know what I'm talking about, and I've talked to thousands of people that don't even have a TV, and the reason is the exact same reason that we talked about here, is they just don't want that negative influence all the time. So if that works for you, try it, or just try it and see if it works, and then see what you want to do from then on. So I hope that helped you out, and that's what we do at Create One Love, is give you products and services to help you on your journey of self-actualization, self-improvement, how to consciously create your life the way you really want it to be. And that's what it's all about to me, is conscious creation, to create your life exactly the way you want it to be. That's what I'm doing, and this is part of my creation. I was very conscious about doing this. And so I'm going to give you a free ebook. It's 3 foundation pillars. Comes from our Blueprint for Manifesting system. So go to getblueprintformanifesting.com and pick it up, and pick up the audio too. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow on the next one, and until then, as always, and I mean this, live in love. But bet you don't see that on the TV yet. Okay, see you tomorrow.